couch, you might choose that version with 3 seats or 2 seats, or if you want to have an armrest or no armrest. So these 10,000s actually become wider variation, but obviously with this we can cater every design option that you want to get. So you might want to go to a platform and get direct manufacturer's objects. There's plenty of platforms out there. You have beamobject.com, beamcomponents.com, Beam & Co. So basically the manufacturers, let's say you have a Sony or you have Apple, that they want you to use their objects in their projects, so you can just go there, download it, and then place it in your library. So this is an example of how one of our clients uses Open Beam approach. So you see ArchiCAD is within the center of this slide with lots of software solutions. And basically for different purposes, they use different solutions. So for MEP, they use Repro, CADWell, TFAS. They also use AutoCAD for some documentation. Then for simulation, they use, for example, mass motion to check if the people can evacuate from the building on time, or if you want to test lighting, they use Dialogs, Lumisat, Radiance. So there's many different detailed or dedicated solutions for different purposes. And the interesting thing about it here is that you can see that you can generate the building in ArchiCAD, then send it to these tools for the analysis, or you do some analysis outside and then bring it to ArchiCAD, so it works both ways. But again, I want you to keep in mind that you can use whatever tool you want for whatever purpose you want. So this is one case study that showcases pretty well how this Open Beam approach was used. So this is a stadium, the Puskás Ferenc Stadium in Hungary. A stadium is a very complex building, and they had a few beam goals. So they wanted 3D model-driven documentation. This means that instead of you drawing a section and an elevation and a floor plan, they're totally detached from each other. You actually create the model, and then from the model you take out the drawings. So this way you know that the drawings, they're all correct. Okay? There's no discrepancies between different drawings. Then they wanted to do a design analysis, so to validate the design for people evacuation, for to see if the view from every seat was good, or if people can listen from a certain point of the stadium. Then they want to have quality assurance and quantity takeoff for costing. So this was actually done with a federated model. They use Tekla for the steel structures, they use ArchiCAD for the architecture, and Allplan for the concrete structures. So then you see they come out with these renderings and these presentation images that will show you the structure of the building without anything. They want to check the lighting, they want to check the camera position, they wanted to do sun studies, test for wind, see if the seats are comfortable enough. You also did the escape route simulation, as I just mentioned before. So you see you have 67,155 seats, and they had to test in case of, you have a need to get people out of the building as soon as possible. So they start counting. You see on the bottom right corner of your screen, they start counting the time that it would take for people to normally evacuate the building, and to see if this is according to the local regulations. You see, basically it takes over 2 minutes to get everybody out. So with this you can identify, probably I need one more exit at this level or one more exit at that level. Okay? I think it's pretty obvious, you already got the picture. You don't need to wait for everybody to leave the building. Okay, another thing that is very important in this type of buildings is the quality of the view. So actually UEFA wants them to always come out with this index of view quality factor. So they always need to be above a certain percentage. In this case, they had 94.8% of view quality. So this means that only a few seats don't have the maximum or the full view of the stadium. So by checking different designs, different orientations, different angles, they could show how the quality of the view was. Again, the 3D model-driven documentation, you can see from here, from the model, they can actually extract floor plans, sections, elevations, and even all the documentation for all the different building parts, all the elements that you need to have on it. And the quality of the drawings, as you can see from here, are actually they look actually quite nice, because ArchiCAD has this very good quality of 2D documentation. Okay, now the section. They also use it for quality assurance, so to see clash detection between different. You have, let's say, you have the MEP elements in your building, all the ducts and pipes, and you want to see if they clash, I don't know, with a door or with a beam or with a wall, so that you can clean up these junctions. They did a quantity takeoff. You see there how much does he have in terms of volume of concrete, how much he has reinforced concrete, and so on, so that they could figure out the costing. And this is again a diagram that shows how the different solutions or different tools were used for this project. So you can see from ArchiCAD you export out to Pathfinder to do the analysis of the escape route. You export to BIMX for presentation. You receive the structure from Allplan, and you send your design to Allplan to see how the concrete structure is going to be. So you see that some arrows actually go both ways and some arrows only go one way. So according to what you need to do, some things you export out and you do it there and it's fine. Some things you export out, you do some parts there and you bring it back in. So the building is now under construction. So they also did some construction tracking to see in different stages what were the parts that had to be done before. So if you're going to do buildability or manufacturing for your project, we also can showcase how to use this with ArchiCAD. We have this construction simulation add-on that shows that you can assign different elements to different stages. Okay, so now at the moment, this is the most recent picture that I have from it, so it's going on well. And I would like to end up finish my presentation, or almost finish my presentation with this slide that actually comes from BCA, that showcases a scenario where you see all the technology enhancing the process of building a building. And not just building it, but then at the end you want to have the management of the building. So we can use technologies like drones, like scans, to get data and bring it to your BIM model. You can actually take your model into mobile solutions that then will allow you to access the information and manage, let's say, how many tenants you have in your shopping center, or how many lamps have to be replaced by the end of this year when the warranty period goes out. So stuff like this. So this is to give you an idea how focused the government is into digitalization and getting all this information to be integrated and brought out from the beginning of a project all the way through the building life cycle. So I want to end up with this slide, or with this video. It shows how you can start designing a building, or in this case, this is just a small pod, a capsule, with the focus of manufacturing, okay? So I'll let the video talk talk for itself. Okay, so you see from there that when they design, even though the shape is very free form, then you have to start rationalizing the panels so that it can be built into different pieces. And then you also need to get a representation of each of those pieces that they could be sent, for example, to a CNC cutter, one machine that will cut every piece up to the dimension. Then you can label them, and then when it goes to assembling, is almost just like building a puzzle on site. Can you imagine somebody just looking at the drawings and trying to figure out how they should have to cut each one of those pieces? They're all in different plans, so it's actually quite difficult to figure it out. And this is how you can have technology to help you to design it. And it's actually quite well showcased in the video how we can leverage on this. So again, I'd like to bring back this slide and show you that actually the people depend on you. The process, there are many ways. I show you here a few different case studies where with the same tools but with different focus, sometimes bringing in a new tool or a new plugin or a new add-on. I think you guys should research quite well what is out there and know for a certain purpose what is the best tool for it, and then trying to see how this could be integrated. We'll have also our contacts, so in case you want to ask us something, some advice, what should we use for this purpose or for that purpose? If you have any suggestion for, I don't know, how could I get all the panels to be flat out in the drawings like you showcase on that video, stuff like that, we can help you with it. And the process is the part that you have to figure out. The technology, we already gave you some solutions, but whatever you have there, whatever you're more comfortable to use, the focus is just explore more what you should use, and see. Let's see what you can come up with. I will, since we finished a bit earlier, I don't know if you guys want to ask some questions now. We'll have in half an hour our hands-on session. But if you have some questions about more details about a certain stage or about how this or that should be done, me and Carlo are here, so just feel free to ask us. I think I can turn off the mic and we can just make this more casual. Okay? Any questions? So the Rhino has, I think, 90-day trial. Yeah, correct. Yeah. I think it will give you a temporary code for 90 days. Okay, so as you do this competition, 90 days is good enough. Yeah. For ArchiCAD it's similar, but once you put your details, your student details, you get a 1-year license that is renewable until you start. So every year you put your student details, you can get a student license. Yeah, yeah. So you get first a code that is this one, that is for 30 days. But then you apply for 1 year where you put all your details. Yeah, but I would advise you to do meanwhile. Because if the 30 days expire, then you cannot use it anymore. And then you will like, and actually whatever you do in demo, in trial version, if you don't upgrade in between, that file is then become that. So you should all apply to this to the 1 year solution. Actually, wait, I can show you on the session. Yeah, I took just across. Is it the one we came through? Okay.
You don't know where it is, right? You don't know where it is?
The hands-on session, you know where it is?
Okay, I'll bring you there.
So we can do the stuff and go for it.
You know where it is?
So you guys have you tried ArchiCAD before? Or?